Greetings, dear ones. Welcome to this new podcast episode of the Syrian Light Codes. This episode woke me up at about 4:48 in the morning. And so here we are. Here I am sipping my coffee, ready to deliver these messages. And today we're gonna talk about some pretty witchery stuff on a Monday morning. So welcome to my life. Now I actually wanted to go back to bed because I was, even though I had all these messages, and you guys know if you are channelers, well, most of you here are, because when you're connected, when your crown chakra is just open, it's you don't really have control over what you receive and what you don't receive. It's just it's there, they don't care if it's 3 a.m. on a Wednesday night or if it's 9 p.m. on a Saturday. Galactic time and Earth time is just not the same, okay? And especially not the conditioned, way of living in the Matrix. So, but my body was quite tired, and so I went back to bed. But then I had this flash of understanding of why this message was so important and the value behind it, especially for divine feminines. Well, obviously for the divine masculines as well, because today we're going to talk about mostly the actors in the divine masculine's life, because as we know, in this twin flame journey, the masculine side of the collective, and by masculine I mean energy, okay? If you're embodying more of the masculine or the feminine energy, because this is what really twin flame journey is all about. It's understanding the energetic realm. It's understanding this subtle realm of reality that is hidden from us, because you're gonna understand why. Also that obviously our life force energy can be easily manipulated, but when you're aware of it, it's just no one can do anything. So when you become a master of your own life force, that's when you truly become an ascended master, because you're not swayed left and right by outer world influences. So the value in today's episode is actually going to really help. So what I was hearing is that it's really going to help the divine feminines release the quote-unquote control, even though it's heavy quotes, because but let go of the seeing this journey from a different perspective, and let go of the components that actually don't really matter, and focus on your mission. Okay, focus on your mission, because this is really what this journey is all about. And focus on your high priestess training and on being the side of the equation while your twin is going through their own training out there. And by the way, just very quickly before we jump in, there were times in my journey where I quote unquote let go of my twin flame, but out of a place of projection and out of a place of resentment, oh my god, this guy is so unawakened, la 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 la, so I'm just gonna let go and do life. And obviously those things never, they're not real, so they eventually they will fade. But it's when you let go from a genuine place, and it's actually solid, it's actually real, that's when it really has an impact on the course of the journey. And so the way you genuinely let go is obviously from a place of unconditional love, but also is when you truly start. I'm laughing so hard right now because something very profoundly shifted in me when I started to, just very recently, I was hearing collecting evidence. I'm I shifted from no longer seeing my twin as, parading around in the Matrix, to seeing his higher self, like talking to his higher self, and understanding that it's just a valuable, he's doing his part of the training, right? Just as a divine feminine, as a high priestess, I'm learning, energy stuff, and I'm learning my side of the equation. Well, they are collecting evidence. They are on the field out there, learning what they need to learn for their part of the mission. And I mean, it's their they're doing the job, right? They are, again, you are a team. You're always a team. You cannot not be a team. Is your twin freaking soul. So you're both in this journey together. It's for your both higher selves good. It's whatever is best for you is best for them, and vice versa. So it's important not to see that, oh my god, they are just struggling out in the matrix. And if you this is why I keep sharing that if you relate to this journey from an emotional place, you're gonna get burned. Because obviously they're going through really harsh things. You have gone through really harsh things, and if you let your emotions get in the way, you're just going to be drained, right? So an emotional detachment is important, both for your own well-being and your own there's a word for that, your own sanity, but also in a way to energetically send them the message that it's all good. This is advanced stuff. This is a tough journey we signed up for. As a twin flame, you are one of the most powerful souls. You are part of the most powerful soul group that there currently is on planet Earth here right now. We're talking Yeshua and Mary Magdalene level. And it is really what it is. We just fragmented ourselves enough to forget it. But anyway, all right. So after this long intro, I just wanted to share who are the quote unquote bad guys, and like really heavy quotes, because, well, it depends. I want to share that there are different flavors of shapeshifters in this journey. There are the really, really dark ones, and there are the not so heavy ones. But the interesting part of this journey is that those who are actually the darkest are the most subtle. So you really have to dig deep at a place where you can really see their energetic structure and how they actually operate, to understand who they really are behind the mask, behind their false persona. But the shapeshifters are what we also call in light psychology narcissists. And narcissists are so good at putting on a mask, putting on a shiny mask when they're out and about, when they're out into the world, but then behind the scenes they're just freaking monsters. And I know some of you may have different opinions about it. Personally, in my own soul growth journey, evolution, it was detrimental to not look at this journey from a place of everyone has good in them, and be all forgiving and all, let people step on you. There was a turning point in my journey where I had to choose life or death. Basically, that was really what it was. And I really had to start seeing people for who they are, and start seeing souls for who they are. Now, I don't know if in other lifetimes, if in next cycles of incarnation, these souls will or will not evolve. I don't know. But one thing is clear as day for me right now is that humans who are at that level of cruelty, or at that level of, especially if you get in between twin souls, and their mission here on planet Earth, you will not ascend in this lifetime. It's just not possible. So whether they're going to be able to do it in, after they pay back their karma or not, that's, what can I say? It's not it's not our business. It's not our job to figure this out. But here's what I've come to understand is that these actors have contracts with us. They have soul contracts, okay? And they're very, very important. Their role is crucial in this twin soul journey. It is because their soul contract helps you. I like to say they suck the darkness out of you. Okay, they suck the devil out of you. When we come here on planet Earth, okay, we come here as pure souls, as pure beings, and then shit hits the fan here on Earth, and we as advanced souls, we chose really harsh childhood experiences. That seems like a very good idea up there, but down here it's like not so fun. But anyway, we wanted to ascend, so we chose really heavy experiences, and with that comes a lot of trauma. Okay, so that trauma gets stored on an emotional level, on a mental level, and on an energetic level as well. And for the sake of this episode today, we're only going to talk about this incarnation. We're not going to talk about past incarnations, which we would get too complex, and it's just not the point for today. So that trauma, what it does is that as I've shared previously in previous episodes, we don't attract what we want on a conscious level or even on a soul level. We attract based on our energetic frequency. And if your energetic frequency is tainted with all sorts of past experiences that you haven't been able to process through and transmute, because as ascended masters, one of our biggest superpowers is learning how to alchemize and transmute heavy, dense energies, transmute fear, transmute anger, transmute darkness. Okay, because that's actually, personally, this is how I relate to this journey of ascension, because the only way to transcend a dimension, to ascend out of the density of the third dimension, is when you work energetically with those lower dense energies, and you move up the scale of consciousness. 101, basic math. And when you are able, okay, so the only way that you can actually be able to transmute those really heavy, dense emotions that can, by the way, that can really, really impact you on a, physical level, mental level. So this is why it is highly important. This is something that I wish I knew in the beginning of my journey, but we don't have a manual. The next waves will have a manual for ascension, and this is what we are here to do and guide them through this process with our with our overview and with our conclusions right now that we know what it's like, we're gonna be able to help them navigate it in a way that is not so, how can we even say it? It's not so devastating. You just insert your own word there, but this journey is a lot. Okay, so what you're gonna do is the next waves that are raising their hand and say, hey, I want to ascend, that the hell with the matrix. You're gonna help them, you're gonna make their journey easier. This is what this is in our soul contract as part of the 144 wave. You're here to guide in some way, shape, or form the next waves that are ready to ascend. This is how we create the foundation of the new earth, right? And I just lost my train of thoughts. Right, okay, so yeah, this is why it's very important to take care of your mental and physical health while you go through this journey. My gosh, crucial. And personally, I know that one of the first things that either me individually or my twin and I are going to create is a container to really help with mental health and nervous system recalibration from the old earth. This is just crucial. Without this foundation, you cannot ascend. It's just crucial. Okay, so that being said, because these emotions are so strong, and because these are emotions that as children we simply didn't have the power, we didn't have the tools, first of all, obviously, because the adults around us, no one knew how to deal with emotions. They were just putting their emotions onto other people and recycling things, like just the same way that karmic loops go. We just pass on things from one to another because we haven't been taught how to process emotions, and also because it's hard, right? If you know what you've been through on this journey, processing some of those stored emotions, my gosh, some of the heaviest fears, anger, you really reach so many breaking points, and some call it ego deaths. They really, really break it down. From the human experience perspective, is just very heavy. So we really got to be able to create containers where there is just a lot of safety for people to be able to do so. Now those containers those containers for us were not necessarily safe containers, but it's what allowed us to transmute those heavy emotions, because karmic contracts are some sort of contract that is on the 3D level, on the material realm, on the material plane, are quote unquote very hard to get out of. So this can be a marriage, this can be some sort of legal business, this can be some sort of a cult, for those of you who have had the chance to have that kind of experience. We're going to get into that later. Those circles are just very hard to escape. And the only way for me to escape it was to really understand, which obviously was part of my training, and this is the reason why I can actually talk about this today with you with such a, with such precise detail of and such a deep understanding of the energetic realm, is because the only way for me to get out of that freaking cult was to really understand the behind the scenes and how they operate energetically, because there is no way out of those circles or those contracts or marriage or anything legal, because the material realm is run by the devil, so they have control over those things. It is spiritual. It is spiritual and energetical. So if you focus on, oh my God, how can I get out of this contract on a physical level? You can't. And this is exactly ascension. Is it bringing you into some sort of situation where you feel like, where you don't just feel, where you actually don't have a way out unless you ascend, unless you go to the next level, unless you open up to the spiritual realm, unless you open up to the 5D level, to, you know, seeing beyond, looking for solutions that are beyond this realm of the physical dimension. I really hope this helps. Okay, so for me personally, one of my biggest, even though I had my spiritual awakening 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and I had many spiritual experiences from there, one of the biggest ascension points was, you know, that cult experience, which was really heavy, and I'm still recovering from it on a mental level and on a, you know, physical level as well. It took me about 2 years to really just you know, physically recover. So again, this is also why, you know, those of you who have been in karmic marriages, it's gonna take a while. And narcissistic abuse, there is a phase of neuroplasticity where you, and nervous system recalibration, where your whole system needs to get out of that fight or flight state, and that state of just really PTSD, because that's what it is. But what you get out of it is you alchemize, and I'm feeling guided to share is that for some of you it could have been material luck, you know, any sort of. By the way, I want you to take a moment to actually really pinpoint it, what it was for you. Was it what kind of soul contract did you have in this lifetime that allowed you to alchemize painful stored emotions, that gave you no other chance but to that gave you no other chance but to surrender and actually transmute? Because this is the reason why karma is looping around here on planet Earth, is because humans don't have neither the tools nor the understanding, but also they fear emotions, right? The feminine energy within us all, humans fear humans fear death is transformation is feminine energy, and we have all been conditioned to fear the feminine. And this is something that Yeshua talks about in the channeler talks about in dialogues with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. Humans have been conditioned to fear the divine feminine, to fear intuition, to fear even this kind of topics. It's like, oh my God, it's witchery, it has to be bad, it has to be dark. Well, there are good witches and there are bad witches, you know, there's light and dark, duality, planet Earth. Anyway, so, but we're transcending out of that. We have transcended out of that. So those soul contracts that we have signed with certain souls are for this purpose. So, for example, if you are or were in a karmic marriage, a lot of it has to do with the stored emotion that you had towards the opposite sex. So if you had a lot of anger towards feminines, or if you had a lot of shame, I don't know, I'm just making things up, or guilt towards the masculine collective, that particular soul contract is meant to trigger those experiences in you in a way that is it kind of puts you in the corner, and it just gives you no chance, it gives you no option but to surrender. And so what you're going to do is you're going to alchemize, you're going to actually feel those feelings, actually feel that anger. And gosh, my God, anger is such a strong emotion, right? Shame, my gosh, shame is so intense as well. fear as well, fear. And it's this kind of soul contract is what I call spiritual jail. It's almost like a spiritual jail, but it's for your evolution, okay? It's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you're, God is punishing you. No. It's meant to be this way. And so when these emotions are transmuted, it's like the contract is over. You have nothing else to share with that person. Now, one very important thing that I wanted to share in this episode is that why would you even want to enter into this kind of contract? Well, let me tell you, the devil works on illusions, okay? And this is where the shape-shifting experience happens. So for you to enter into that sort of contract, they had to shapeshift into something that seemed to be like part of your soul calling, part of your destiny, part of your life path. As spiritual beings, we are just very connected to our destiny, to God, and we follow this map, we follow this compass, right? We don't follow the matrix, whatever happens out there. We are awakened, and so we follow our soul. And so what happens is, in our journey, we meet these individuals, we meet these actors who will shapeshift into our quote-unquote soul desire for a while, temporary. Obviously, it's not, you can't shapeshift forever, but enough to get you in. This is why, for example, the minute that you signed that karmic marriage contract, or the minute that you got into a circle, that person changed. They took their mask off, because, and this is why narcissists, they say that in the beginning there is the love bombing phase. Is exactly the reason why. This is the reason. It's because they have the ability to shapeshift into, maybe you believed, that person was going to be the one, because they simulated, they mimicked, this is the word, they mimicked certain energies of your divine counterpart, or for example, for me, what got me into a cult, I mean, you must be asking, like, why on earth would you even get in there? Well, I was genuinely, I was really persuaded that was the person that was going to be my mentor, because I was really looking for a mentor at that time, and someone who was really I was looking for a shaman. Well, 2 years after that experience, and once I recovered enough, I met Carolyn. Some of you know Carolyn from the 144 God Code. I actually really want to bring her on the channel. Well, she's really, really busy, but I'm going to bring her here on the channel and talk about just a lot of beautiful stuff. More interviews, more New Earth interviews are coming, I promise. But when I met her, I was shocked to see that, to a T, some of the phrases that the shapeshifter back then told me, okay, this is going to be mind-bending for some of you, but they can actually travel into the future, use certain phrases from the real person, the real genuine person's energy that they mimic, and they will say those things to you. And this is going to put you in a sort of a trance state where you enter into that illusion of, oh my God, this is really the person. Because for me, it really felt like, my God, this is the mentor that I've been looking for my entire life. Well, it turns out it was nothing at all. Like, the teachings had no substance. It was utter nonsense. But it really helped me understand what was illusion and what was reality. Because also narcissists really put you in an inverted reality, right? In that cult, I was the bad guy, when in fact I was probably the one, if not, there was two other people that were also awakened, and they were also the bad guys. But narcissists put you in an inverted reality. This is why with a narcissist you can never win an argument, because you are always going to be the bad guy. They will never take accountability for the wrong things they're doing. You're always going to blame yourself. Everything that the narcissists do. We're not going to get too deep into that, but they draw you in. So these are the steps. First, this is the quote unquote what we call the love bombing phase, where they shapeshift. Okay, they are able to mimic certain energies of your actual life path, of your actual destiny, of the people you are actually meant to encounter, of the people that your soul has almost like an antenna. And they actually wanna, and they can actually perceive that energy and they can mimic it. Yeah. So this is the first phase. So you are all up in your feelings. You are, oh my God, I'm signing up for that training, or I'm signing that contract. This is the person, she or he is the one. And this is how you get into a karmic contract, right? You are so persuaded that this is the thing. This is the real thing. Now, the minute you get into it, that's when the dynamics start to shift, okay? And that person actually starts to behave almost like an enemy. Because they got what they wanted, because they got what, the soul contract said. They are really just playing a role, okay? We're not talking about humans here. We're talking about roles, okay? And in their soul contract is written, well, it's right now, it's time to play this role. And so they're going to behave, they're going to act according to, they're actually going to mirror back to you the darkness, the emotions that you are supposed to transmute, to alchemize. Okay, so this is why it is very challenging, right? But because you are still drunk, because you are still persuaded that, oh my God, this is my person. Oh, it's like I gotta stick with it, right? Personally, I was like, oh my God, no, I have to finish this training. I was like persuaded that was it, that was the training that's gonna, help me be a healer. Well, obviously not. And the same with the karmic marriage is like, I'm persuaded that I need to help this person. I'm persuaded that I need to be with this person. Sorry, I'm persuaded that this is my business partner. It can also be a business deal, right? So you do everything for that person, but it's always one-sided, right? Because the narcissist will just take. They will actually feed themselves with your energy. And so they will not just suck the dark and negative energy out of you, but also your life force. This is why you're like so depleted. Personally, after I got out of that training, I couldn't heal. I couldn't help people for about almost a year or more. And it's like, I couldn't. It just like, I had nothing to offer. And, it is what it is. And also, when you got out of a narcissistic relationship, you don't just jump into another relationship. You need time to heal. And so if you're twin flame, if for you it's a romantic thing, if your twin flame is still dealing with some sort of karmic scenario, you just need to understand where they're coming from. It's a lot. So yeah, the phases is, first is the love bombing and the shape-shifting experience. Then is masks off until the contract is fulfilled. And this is also why you cannot, this is something that I really wanted to share, and this will always, it will really help the divine feminines let go of this journey. so long they are in that karmic contract, they will keep you at arm's length, because they gotta learn stuff. It's not that their soul necessarily, no, their soul wants to be there because it's their path, but it's not like, let's say, it's just not personal. It's not personal. It's their journey. It's their individual journey that they have to go through. And so your human mind might judge it and say, "Oh, you're not where you're supposed to be." Well, no, they are, and they are fulfilling their karmic duty. They are fulfilling their karmic mission. And so, while they're in that experience, the roles will be flipped, right? Because the karmic handlers will actually, the shapeshifters will actually turn them against you, or they will actually, do everything they can to gossip, to criticize the divine feminine, to make you seem like the quote-unquote bad guy. Because, I repeat, when you're in a karmic contract, you live in an inverted reality, okay? And so, yeah. And if you're trying to quote unquote convince, this is something that I shared in the previous episode, it's not going to work, because you cannot convince your twin soul from a mental perspective, because their minds are really conditioned to a place where, the shapeshifters have really taken over their entire perception of reality. That's what the narcissists do, okay? They put you in a state of mental illusion. But because you're supposed to be there, because your soul has, on a conscious level, you have to be drunk enough to, you have to be, persuaded enough to actually go through that experience. It's like an anesthesia, on a conscious level. It's like, you wouldn't do it consciously. That's what I want to say. But because it's part of your soul's growth experience, because it's part of your soul training, on a conscious, on a soul level, you chose to go through these experiences while unawakened, so that you can awaken. And so that you can have valuable knowledge to, help humanity with, help people understand how life on Earth here works, and how energy operates, and the real life, when you get sober enough to understand reality and get out of the web of illusions of the karmic handlers and the matrix, you can lead others towards the light, towards the actual path of ascension. So the last step is it's the integration, right? Like, you are out of that contract. And again, you cannot get out of a contract on, following logical steps. It's a spiritual gel. It's not a physical. It's not a 3D gel. It's a spiritual gel. It may seem like a 3D gel in the physical, but so long you perceive it as solely material, you cannot get out of it. So you gotta go to source to free you out of a karmic contract. Yeah. And the last phase is, okay, so you're out of it. You can see things and energies, and you can, right now, you're no longer, you no longer believe that people are just people, right? It's just like the animal realm. There are different souls, right? The lion, is not because you're a fluffy, beautiful, gracious deer that they won't eat you. It's just a hard lesson that I have personally had to learn. It's not, oh my God, everyone can have redemption. No, not everyone will have redemption in this lifetime. And I just gonna fiercely say this. It's a very important step for people to get out of the karmic jail and the narcissistic jail, is to understand that while you're still in the illusion that, oh my God, this person can change. No, They won't. They won't, because their soul is not able to evolve past that level of consciousness. It's not. And that's just really what it is. And not everyone is an advanced soul. And, as wayshowers, as pioneers, we got to understand that not everyone will be at this level. And a lot of people will have resistance to ascend. And you cannot save someone out of their karma. And so that's how you get out of a narcissistic jail, is to understand that, wait, what got me in the first place here is the illusion that this person was who I thought they were, aka your divine counterpart, aka your mentor, aka your soul buddy, aka your business partner. But in fact, they were not. It was just a facade. I was drunk this whole time, because there is so much mind game, there is so much manipulation, there is so much. It's just a very calculated, maze that they put you in, so that you keep investing, so that you keep being in the illusion that if you do what they want, you're gonna get the ultimate result, which never comes, because it's still an illusion. And this is exactly how the Matrix operates, right? Sounds familiar? You do all these things, you spend years and years and years studying some sort of whatever, and then you get into the Matrix, and then what? Or you climb the ladder, and it's you think that you will get the ultimate happiness, or whatever they sell out there, it's just a bunch of lies. So, dear ones, I hope this helped. Okay, hope this helped. I hope this episode brought you even more clarity on this journey. And right now, because we're really coming full circle with this journey of ascension, we are all gathering our data from the old Earth training, and we're learning how to guide others that will be going through the same similar experiences, but really take some time to integrate. Okay, as I was sharing, when you get out of that contract, there is a phase of integration, there is a phase of recouping, there is a phase of you really also taking care of yourself. But it's the phase of wisdom, it's the phase where you you come into, you merge with your higher self. This is really what it is, okay? Because it was never you in the first place, right? In that contract, it was, a conditioned version of you that was operating on illusions. Now you merge with your real self, with your higher self, and that's when you ascend. All right, dear ones, I will leave it there. Do let me know, as usual, in the comments below what was your biggest insight, and I hope to see you soon in the next one. Take care.